Hello, good morning and welcome to the AM News with me, Mapita Sibidi. Now, in our first story, Ohineba Nkrabea, one of the two Rastafarian students whose admission to Achimota School became contentious for weeks, finally enrolled in the school Thursday. It followed the intervention of the Attorney General, who directed that the school admit the two boys, even as it appeals the Human Rights Court ruling on the matter. Parents of Ohineba tell JoyNews he was welcomed with loud cheers from other students and a warm welcome from management. Kwekwe Asante reports.
The High Court ruling was expected to bring a close to this matter, but that was short-lived when the Achimota School's Board of Governors announced that not only were they going to seek an appeal of the ruling, they wanted to file a stay of execution, which would have essentially prevented the boys from going to school until the appeal was heard and decided in court. The Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Godfred Yeboah-Dame, however, directed the school to withdraw the application for stay of execution and admit the two dreadlock-wearing students pending the appeal. After weeks of a heated legal battle and war of words, one of the two students, Ohineba Nkrabea, has been admitted, while the other is expected to be admitted on Friday. Outside the gates of Achimota School, journalists awaited the arrival of the students and parents due to the huge media and national interest in the case. Mana Myers is mother of Nkrabea. He says they were welcomed to loud cheers of students and also to a warm reception by the school manager.
We approached the administration block, and when we're going, I think before we got there were some students in their dormitories, cheering, and that was very assuring. It made us feel like Ohineba was welcomed by the student body. It was their school, the day school prefect, the day students prefect, who approached us in a very warm and nice manner, told Ohineba, asked Ohineba whether, he was a day student or a brother, and he said he was a day student, and she said, oh, okay, then you are going to be my school son, and told us that Ohineba was welcomed, nobody was going to do anything to him, and that if he had any problem, he should just approach her, and that was very reassuring.
Ohineba Nkrabea's dream of attending the Massachusetts Institute of Technology was on hold as the legal battle raged on. He has joined his colleagues in class, and for him, that puts his dream back in motion. His father, Ras Aswad Nkrabea, says he's excited about this new development.
It was wonderful. I was, very elated because of the fact that we finally got to this point where he can go into the school that he wanted to go. I've been here from 5 minutes to 6, and when we got here and went to the administration hall, our building, as we were standing outside, we heard a very loud noise, and when we look around, there were so many students at the building, and they were just welcoming us and showing their appreciation, and that made me feel very good.
Right. For him, what body language did he show?
Oh, well, he's not a person that is expressive like that, He was just smiling and, very calm with the situation. I think it's later that we will probably hear from him what took place.
I'm very grateful, sir. Thank you. The other student, Tyrone Iras Magai, is expected to go through admission processes on Friday.
Away from that, government says it will reconstruct drains in and around the Kwame Nkrumah Circle and parts of the Central Business District to ensure the areas will not experience flooding the next rainy season. The MCE for the area, who made the promise, explains he's optimistic the project will have been completed by then. Speaking at the 6th memorial of the June 3rd flood and fire disasters held at Ground Zero here in Accra, he said government is already in talks with consultants to redesign the drains and engineer works to avoid flooding.
Since the burning of the market, government is trying as quick as possible to correct the engineering problem most people say is to do with the water flow from this community into the Minodo drain. One, apparently it meets where it is so. It meets the water from the mountains in the Moindra at 90% angle. that needs to change. I think that is going to be corrected. And then also all the way from Paloma on the ring road, Kudi, the water that comes through Asalam Dam to the main drain. We have the consultants, the Ministry of Works and Housing is working on reconstructing the whole drain from that side. They've started now, the processes are in place, and then the consultants have been to the assembly a few times. What they are trying to do is to start work now, and hopefully by the next rain, not this time around, they would have probably done the redesigning of the major drain that goes underneath the market before the rebuilding of the market can also start.
Now, the Ministry of Works and Housing is assuring residents who live along the country's coast their concerns about the sea defence project being constructed by government would be addressed. One of the main complaints with the project, which seeks to halt the advancing sea, is that the livelihood of the fisher folk along the coast is threatened. Sector Minister Asensu Boache, who is touring the project sites in the central and western regions, explains all the concerns of the residents will be incorporated into the design. Richard Kojinyako has more.
The Works and Housing Minister was impressed at the rate of work of the contractor that is constructing the sea defence. The sea defence project was initiated following the devastating effects the sea was having on the shorelines of the country's coast. With about 60% of the project completed, Francis Asensu Boache believes government vision of protecting the shorelines was on course.
Apologies for that lack of audio. We'll bring you that story in our subsequent bulletins. But ahead of the 2021 Population and Housing Census Program, authorities in the Bono East region are hopeful that the exercise would help guide the region's development plan. The region, which is one of 6 new regions created in 2019, currently lacks accurate data, and this, according to the Regional Coordinating Director, is affecting the region's planning in terms of job creation and development. Correspondent Anas Sabit has more in the following reports.
As one of 6 new regions created in the year 2019, authorities in the Bono East region are excited with the upcoming population and housing census. The region currently lacks adequate and accurate data to help guide the region's development plan. Regional Coordinating Director Mr. George Padmore Mensah told JoyNews that the region is fully committed to making sure that the exercise is executed successfully.
As a Regional Coordinating Council, we are looking forward to get the data, adequate data, to help us in our planning. We were covered from the SY Brun Alpha region, and so getting the data for the Brun East region is very difficult. And this census is going to help us to get specific data for our region. So I want to say that the Regional Coordinating Council, we are planning that we know that we have this number of unemployed persons, and then what strategies that we are going to mount to get them jobs. So it's really, very important. And as the RCC and the regional minister is fully committed that this program becomes a success.
He called on stakeholders present at the regional launch of the 30-day countdown to contribute towards sensitizing the populace in order to get them all counted.
We want them to also get involved and support us in the publicity, because the pastors and the imams, when they meet at the various platforms, churches and mosques, they should also solicit support from their people and also inform their people, especially with the census night. And they should all make sure that they are counted. And I also want to inform them that if there are any lapses, if somebody is not counted, he should come to the assembly and then report to us, so that we'll let the supervisors go and do their job for us.
With the increasing number of armed robbery cases recorded in some parts of the region, Mr. Mensah assured that the Regional Security Council is providing enough security personnel to ensure that enumerators get through the exercise safely.
The Regional Security Council has already met on that. And then we have put into arrangement. We know the hotspot areas, especially with the census night, the enumerators that will be going to count people. We are making arrangement. We've talked to the 3BN Sunyani. We have a platoon here, military platoon. We have the Regional Police Command and all the security agencies. We are arranging for adequate security, and we'll be sure that we're going to have a peaceful and a safe program.
Techiman District Census Officer and second in command at the Regional Census Office, Mr. Alex Nkunyanyate, called on the people to cooperate with census officials in order to get reliable data capable of aiding development within the area.
For the population in Bono East region, let's cooperate with census officials. When they come to your homes, allow them entry, answer the questions they ask, so that we can get reliable baseline data for this region. You know, it's a new region, so we need to get data that will be accurate and reliable. Then moving forward, we can build on it for the region to get part of the national cake that it also deserves.
He asked that measures are being taken to ensure that people living in hard-to-reach communities get counted.
We have some localities that are on the water body. We call them islands. They are difficult, they you know, to the ordinary man, yes, but there are structures in place to make sure that everybody on that water body has been enumerated.
Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, Techiman.
President Akufo-Addo says support from the late Kojo Owusu-Afriyie in his bid to become president shows his commitment towards the governing New Patriotic Party as well as the country. According to the president, when many party supporters raised doubts about his ability to regain power for the NPP, Sir John had absolute confidence in him. The president praised the former CEO of the Forestry Commission in a tribute at the final funeral rites for the late Sir John. Nana Ojima has more in the following reports.
Funeral with his vice, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia opened the tribute with a quote from the late party stalwart.
Make no mistake, Nana will lead MPP even if he is in a wheelchair. The date was 3rd September 2013. The Kojo Owusu-Afriyie was in the studios of Hello FM, a Kumasi-based radio station, making this famous statement with such utter conviction.
According to the president, the former general secretary of the NPP never reneged on his belief of an another win for the NPP.
For me, that statement of 3rd September 2013 reinforced my belief that I could always count on Sir John, affectionately known as such, as the only knight in Ghanaian politics.
The New Patriotic Party says the witty nature in which the once General Secretary Kojo Owusu-Afriyie expressed his candid opinion in politics will forever be remembered. General Secretary John Boadu read the tribute.
Sir John also had a fierce independence and innate decency. He spoke his mind and was not afraid to rock the boat when he felt it was the right thing to do so.
A tribute by wife of the deceased, Agnes Boache, said though he devoted time to the party, he executed his responsibilities to the family. Here is the tribute read on her behalf.
Since you left, I have had friends and family tell me that it is well and that I shall be fine. Darling, I will not be fine without you. Considering my sickness and health issues, where will you be to display your compassion and companionship to fall sick again? Who will buy medicine for me?
The final funeral rites of the late politician brought together many from all over the country to his hometown, Sakra Uno, where the rites were held. Political parties, including the NDC, who were led by Johnson Esedun Ketia, paid their last respect.
I think that we have demonstrated the lessons. It is up to the young ones to emulate. And that lesson is that multi-party democracy should not divide us into enemies or fighting camps.
Many present at the funeral spoke of Sir John's generosity and wit as key character traits.
Sir John was a great politician and fantastic person. I recall the last conversation I had with him must have been some 10 days before he kissed the dust, and it was quite deep, and it all had to do with Ghana and Ghana and Ghana and Ghana and Ghana.
And he did his best during his tenure as General Secretary. Although he didn't give us a win, we all saw the dynamism in Sir John.
I am a typical example of a political offspring from Sir John. One who took me from nowhere and made me who I am today.
Behind me is where Kwadwo Osuafie, popularly known as Sir John, will take his eternal rest. He was 68. This place has now become a point for photo taking. Many would love to stand here and take photos for future reference. Kwadwo Osuafie will forever be loved by the people here at Sakrao Uno because they say he wore the name as a badge wherever he went. For JoyNews, Nana Ojima reporting.
And that's how we end the AM News with me, Mapita CBD. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com.
Welcome to the review segment here on our show, on the AM show. And Joseph Akable is here. Good morning.
Good morning. Nice top you got there.
Well, thank you very much. Oh my God, you're such a gentleman. I thought you would never say. Well, today we have a full-blown Ghana Premier League conversation, and we want you to get involved. The league is getting exciting. I think there was a lot of excitement at the beginning when we had all those changes, but it slowed down, maybe also because of COVID and everything else. But the point where we've gotten to, the Ghana Premier League, is getting really exciting. We've got some serious clashes this weekend. And so we'll have a conversation. You're a Kotoko fan. I've never seen you in a Kotoko. I've seen you watch Accra Hatsofo games, by the way. So we want to say thank you for patronizing our games.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, like you said, I support first and foremost Karela United. That is my team. Karela.
Oh, Karela is your team?
Yes, that's.
We've got the CEO joining us.
Okay, great. So Karela I'm a big fan of Karela United for obvious reasons. I mean. Yeah, behind my.
Oh, so okay.
Then after Karela, I consider Asante Kotoko to be the best club on the face of the earth.
You're entitled to that.
Then, aside from Asante Kotoko, then there's no other team here in Ghana that I support.
You, Yate?
And what determined my choice of a team was I was looking at the last 10, 12 years. I was looking for a team that had won trophy. Karela didn't fit that bill, yet they had gone into the Premier League and they were doing so well. So folk in the last 10 years, no trophy. Okay, you actually won a trophy. Do you know the Abuaji Ejewa Cup? Do you know that trophy?
Are you talking about Kotoko or you're talking about Hatsofo right now?
Maximum that you know the Abuaji Ejewa Cup.
Are you talking about, are you done talking about Karela and Kotoko? Let's do the newspapers. keep your opinions to yourself. So a number of papers we have: the Ghanaian Times newspaper, the Daily Dispatch. There's also the Republic Press, Custodian, Weekend Today. Which ones are you doing?
I have the Daily Graphic, the Daily Guide. I'll also do the Ghanaian Publisher and end with the Finder newspaper. All
right, let's start with the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Here's what's on the front page. Minimum wage increase takes effect today. Agogo Paramount Chief rally support for one constituency, one AstroTurf, as Ghana Gas supports construction in Agogo. Robert Coleman, is Wembley involved in this project? But the banner headline here, which is very worrying: danger looms in Ketu South as tidal waves closing on Aflao Keta Road. Full stories on page 15 as the Member of Parliament for the area who's talking to the Ghanaian Times. But the Ghanaian Times also did some monitoring where they say calamity looms over the Ketu South municipality as the ravaging sea, which has already buried 20 houses in 3 communities, is just about 10 meters away from the Aflawo Keta Road. If the sea finally cuts through the road, installations such as electricity poles and buildings would definitely be carried away, according to the revelations in the Ghanaian Times newspaper. A similar situation also hangs in my own area, in the Angloga area, where if you move from Jita to Strongby, you know, those areas, the sea is just, and each time when you go, you see houses that have been submerged. It's almost as if they didn't even exist. I think the Ministry of Housing has been doing something. So, for instance, they've been in the central region this week in the Brekum area. I mean, it's all the way, really. It cuts across all the coastal towns. Exactly. So this is definitely, we need to be finding out what we are doing. We've erected some sea defense in the past, but we know that that's not enough. Absolutely not enough. The MTN, there's an MTN story, but that's something that we talked to you about yesterday. So let me just skip that and do the center spread of the paper, where we have President Akufo-Addo appointing the first batch of 21 envoys made up of 15 ambassadors and 6 high commissioners to represent Ghana in their assigned locations. Details of these personalities given, and there's a group photograph with the president also in the center spread of the paper. President also joined mourners to bid farewell to the former Chief Executive Officer of the Forestry Commission, Kwadwo Owusu Efriye, Sir John. We will talk about the other things that made the headlines that people were talking about, particularly because of the numbers that showed up. So I'll leave this. We will come back and we'll highlight on that. And then the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council, in collaboration with the Ablekuma Central Municipal Assembly, yesterday undertook a 4-hour cleanup exercise at the Abusilkai Spare Parts Enclave in Accra. Joseph Akable was there. He will give us the backstory. And then the full story of the national daily minimum wage, which has now been pegged at 12.53 Ghana cedis. That story is here. It represents a 6% increase of the 2020 figure of 11.82 Ghana cedis, and it will be implemented from today. This is the figure that nobody should pay you below that. No one should. On the back page, Works Minister inspects work on Abuazi Sea Defense Project. See, we're talking about that a while ago. The National Development Planning Commission also yesterday held a virtual public consultation to solicit input into a draft 4-year medium-term national development policy framework for the period 2022 to 2025. Let's look at some crime-related stories on page 3. I think I'll just leave that and come back to it a bit later on. So for now, I'm done with the headlines in the Ghanaian Times. Joe?
I'll do the front page of the Daily Graphic now. It says, venture into entrepreneurship, finance minister to youth. It's almost the advice we get from governments all the time. On the other hand, when opposition parties are campaigning, they promise the youth that will provide jobs for them. Then when they get into power, they urge the youth to go into entrepreneurship to find jobs. 6 years after completion, artisan center stands idle, structures deteriorate. It's another story on the front page. And hundreds troop to Sakura Wono for Sir John's burial.
Can you imagine how I pronounced the name of the town yesterday?
How do you pronounce it?
I saw Sakura. I saw Sakura Wono. Sounded like a place in Accra.
I'm sure if I'm given a pen to write Sakura, I'll spell it the same way.
I mean, I saw it for the first time. I didn't know what to say, but I apologize for that.
Yeah. 9 perish in flooded mining pits at Mwabok, also on the front page. The back page has that story about decongestion cleanup at Abusilkai, and drivers express concern over new transport fares is also on the back page. The center spread has this story about 376,169 complete second dose COVID-19 vaccination, and President presents credentials to 21 envoys. And so the new ambassadors are Ms. Hadija Idrisu, that's for Zambia, Kwabena Okubi Apia, Liberia, Oheneba Dr. Leslie Etienne Opoku-Wari, that's Russia. Lieutenant General Obed Boama Akwa retired. He's heading to Egypt. And Mr. Charles Oredu, he's a former Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister. He's heading to South Africa. The others are Mr. Francis Dantikotia, the Netherlands, Mrs. Francisca Ashite Odunton, Turkey. There's Alhaji Ahmed Ramadan, United Arab Emirates, and Napoleon Abdullahi, Mali. Sylviana Adawa Ano, formerly of the Electoral Commission, she's heading to Denmark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's the representative government.
She was heading the PR, the Public Affairs departments. Okay.
The Electoral Commission, she's heading to Denmark. And Barbara Akuako Benisa is heading to Malta. The list also has Haji Alima Mahama. She formerly the Minister
Local
of Local Government. She's heading to the United States of America.
Okay, great.
Yakubu Al-Hassan, Namibia. Samuel Yawinsia, Cuba. Christine Checha is actually heading to Benin. And Damte Bediako Asari is heading to Kenya. There's also Al-Haji Mohammed Habibu Tijani. He's also another former Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister. And he is heading to Saudi Arabia. And we have Karis Obechebi Lamte Zuenis is heading to Korea. So there are a number of others. Papa Usankuma back to the United Kingdom. Michael Oforiatta, Ambassador at Large, a position previously occupied by the PNC's flag bearer, Dr. Edward Mahama, but it's now been taken over by Michael Oforiatta. And Emmanuel Kwame Esiedu Enchi is Ambassador in situ. Into bracket, Chief of Protocol. Ambassador in situ. Into bracket, Chief of Protocol.
Okay.
So that is how the country looks in terms of those who will be representing our interest.
What did you say into bracket what? Chief of Protocol.
Chief of Protocol.
Okay, what does that mean?
I have no idea.
We need some diplomatic lessons here.
Yeah, I know someone who can give an answer, but I'm not sure it's a week now, but I'll get the answer.
Okay,
eventually.
Please do, because I'm curious.
In situ, Chief of Protocol.
Okay. All right, then. We wish them well.
Yeah.
You're done?
With the Daily Graphic.
Okay, all right. Let's do Republic Press newspaper. Front page. Ayeni in fresh trouble, dragged to GLC over disparaging comments against Supreme Court. So disparaging comments is in court. The Judicial Secretary has petitioned the Disciplinary Committee of the General Legal Council to investigate alleged disparaging comments made by a former Deputy Attorney General, Dominic Ayeni, over the independence of the judiciary. So a letter cited by Republic Press and indeed all of us states that Dominic Ayeni made this claim with reference to the Supreme Court's conduct in the 2020 presidential election. It also the letter was addressed to the chairman of the Disciplinary Committee of the General Legal Council. It accused Dr. Ayeni of stating that the Supreme Court's failure to apply the rules of procedures as well as the consistent and continuous dismissal of the petitioner's applications or reliefs were the basis of his assertion. And these comments were made during a panel discussion on presidential election petitions and their impact on Africa's democracy. So this is what has gotten people also talking. So, you know, some believe that this was academic and an academic exercise, and no matter how grave you feel the comments are, you don't have to extend an invitation to anyone, because on that same panel there were people that disagreed with him and also shared their comments. So this is, we actually don't know if he has been duly served and if he's going to appear, but what we pick, we will share with you. I don't know what you think about this particular development. It's also brought about something that the president said when he wasn't president some years ago. And Joseph, maybe when we come back, Joseph would give you a brief because you've typed it out, haven't you? All right, so we'll do that. There is a bizarre story, very strange. Man 39 bitten by a snake from the sky, like practically. The snake dropped from the sky and bit him. This is how it happened. And it didn't happen in Ghana. It happened in Kenya. This man says that so he was driving and an eagle dropped the snake on his car. It went through his window and bit his hand, so he started screaming, and that's brought people on the scene. And in the process, they killed the snake. But guess what? When they killed the snake, the eagle came back to pick the snake.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his breakfast. He accidentally dropped it. You know how the eagles...
Do you believe in witchcrafts?
Yeah. I think it was the eagle's meal.
Do you believe in witchcraft?
Let's move on. I'm not clear in my mind how to answer that question. Yes, I believe that they are metaphysical happenings.
Okay.
As to whether they are witchcrafts, goodness. I'm not too clear in my mind, but yes, I believe.
Could this be spiritual? What I just described? Eagle dropping a snake, snake biting you, eagle coming back for the dead snake.
My logical response was the fact that it was the eagle's meal that
accidentally dropped. Okay.
And once it dropped, they got into the car, bit the gentleman, they killed the snake. What did they do? They left the snake there. The eagle was hovering around, like, oh goodness, I dropped my.
Okay. And eagle came back for the snake.
Picked it up and went.
Logical reasoning for we here. All right. If you go to page 8, trader jailed 6 years over car fraud, and it's an Accra High Court that has sentenced this trader to 6 years imprisonment in hard labor for defrauding a Ghana Revenue Authority official of 50,000 Ghana cedis. His name is Edward Kote, aka Nikwe, who deals in the sale of used cars at Kanishi, and his accomplice Kofi Owusu Hayford. He collected 50,000 Ghana cedis from the complainant, Prince Owusu Amankwa, under the pretext of selling him a 2010 model of RAV4 vehicle, but failed. And so the breakdown of how the trial went is in the paper. You might want to catch up. 6 Chinese arrested for illegal mining granted bail. Let's see. It gives their name. They have not been able to execute the bail bond, however. So on Friday, May 14, the Kanishi District Court remanded the accused into police custody, but they applied for bail at the High Courts. And then the court presided over by Ms. Rosemond Ejiri adjourned the matter to July 1. The accused persons are being held on 6 counts of possession of firearms without lawful excuse. And the facts have been narrated here. You can catch up. There's also this issue on the Rastafarian Buhaha, and Jokabonu is exposing his ignorance of the law. Lawyer for the Rasta students thinks. Let's see. 3 arrested in connection of murder of 12-year-old used for rituals. There's also an update of that in the story. And then Achimota School welcomes Rasta student. Alas, I hope that we will let the 2 gentlemen breathe some fresh air so that they can go to school like normal students.
They will never be normal students.
I hope that we will leave them.
Yeah, we will, but I mean, there will be icons on campus. People will love them. People will hate them. People will be fascinated by them, among others. That's the path that, unfortunately, they will be on. But we just expect and hope that they will have the mental toughness to be able to focus on what matters the most, and that is making the best of their time at Achimota.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's it for the Republic Press.
The Daily Guide now, front page. Nane's brother sues for 10 million cedi defamation. Has a photograph of Edward Akufu-Addo, aka Bamti. Opuni chases judge, files for stay, and UK Home Secretary visits Ghana. 100th month, Sir John laid to rest. Has some photographs. The back page, Hearts Kotoko walk tight ropes. There's a photograph of the best player in the Ghana Premier League on the back page of the Daily Guide this morning. Fabio Gama of Kumasi Asante Kotoko.
Who cares?
It's on the back page of the Daily Guide. So let me take that story again. Hearts Kotoko walk tight ropes. Look at this.
Go ahead.
Hearts Kotoko walk tight ropes. Has a photograph of the best player in Ghana Premier League, Fabio Gama. My paper has been taken from me, but I know the story very well. And so he is on the back page there. There's a photograph of another gentleman, Kojo Bin Jr. of Accra Hearts of Folk. It's on the back page. It's very interesting. If you look at the arrangement of the images, the Kotoko player's image is very huge. it took a while for me to recognize that of Kojo being junior. Very little image, very insignificant in the grand scheme of the story.
You should check your eyes.
But the other stories here, they beat them all. Ghana captain Andre Ayew has been handed Swansea City FC top scorer for the 2020-2021. We understand this is the most goals he has scored in his career ever in a single season. He scored 17 goals in 46 matches for the Spurs.
Are we doing sports or we're doing general news headlines?
Oh, so I'm doing the back page stories. I'm just touching on the headlines still.
All right.
Don't worry. I did the Hearts of Folk one too, so I'm going for There's this story about Lukaku snaps Chelsea, and you shed fake tears. Aguero's father to Pep Guardiola, also on the back page. So I'll quickly do business now because there's a protest against sports this morning. So the Finder newspaper front page.
Wow, look, there's a protest against sports.
Yes, it has.
You can be so dramatic.
I'm just reporting what's happening. You know, yesterday I got a text message. Someone was, in fact, I've been informed that if I need legal services for them to press charges of assault,
harassment,
possible battery, because you consistently put me in imminent fear of physical danger.
Oh, so you suddenly found your voice because you got people who want to represent you because you've never expressed what you're saying.
Well, my attention was drawn to it. My attention was drawn to it really about the fact that the elements that constitute assault seem to be present. The battery element is what is not present for now, and so they drew my attention to it.
Let me give you a piece of advice.
Let me finish with my
Please do.
I was told that if I have any reason to give the instructions to the lawyers are willing to proceed. Okay. But I told them that, look, she's my mom. So this one we'll talk about it at home.
Tell your lawyers and yourself.
They are not my lawyers.
You're going ahead of yourself.
They are not my lawyers.
So first of all,
instructed them.
First of all, is there a Kokomleme police station or something?
No,
go there first.
You have to go to Nima.
So go there first.
I have to go to Nima. I see. But some other stories now on the Finder newspaper. 12.53 minimum wage takes effect today. This is mostly good news for public sector workers who are below the existing minimum wage. If really you are in a private space, we know that the enforcement issues are very difficult because if you do the math,
12.53 multiplied by what, 30 days?
Yeah, if you look at it, I mean, some will say that, look, I work for a total of 31. So maybe if you even do 31, you are looking at 388.43 cedis. And so if that, it means that whatever work you find yourself in, you shouldn't be paid less than 388.43 cedis. But enforcement has always been a major challenge, and people, the issue of unemployment, if you don't do the work, they'll find someone who will actually take half of that amount to do the work for you. But that is the situation. That's just 6% adjustment. Well, interestingly, let me bring you another story that is related to this. Transport fares up 13% from Saturday, and so 6% up in terms of minimum wage. Not even salary incremental, minimum wage, with the lowest amount that you're supposed to earn. So if you're actually being paid 500 cedis, it means that you're still taking 500 cedis. Nonetheless, you're supposed to pay transport fare by 13% from Saturday. Still on your 500 cedis salary, and so not very good time for workers, but we are told that it's tough times getting the economy back on board and all the fine economic explanations. Yeah. That is it for the front page of the Finder.
All right, let's do the Daily Dispatch. Front page of the Dispatch. We need to review 1992 Constitution, according to Majority Leader. MTN worthy of emulation. Bishop Ajanasari on insulting leaders. Sir John was a true Ekufuado loyalist, according to the president. That's how the front page of the paper looks like this morning. Joseph will do the publisher.
Yes, the front page has that story about the daily minimum wage for 2021, now 12.53. And Opuni wants trial judge removed. And Nana Baumia bid Sir John farewell as tears flow. And Anado's brothers Hughes, Bobby and Sat, 3 others also on the front page. Government begins recruitment of nurses. Another story on the front page of the Publisher newspaper. That is it for you, All
right, last paper for me, perhaps Custodian. The other stories we're well familiar, but there's an appointment of a new executive director that was also making the round. She's the executive director of Dankwa Institute. Her name is Dr. Antoinette Chibo Dako. Let's empower MMDAs to be resourceful, according to Obi Amwa, and he said this during his vetting, a deputy local government minister nominee. That's it for the Custodian newspaper. Perhaps. Yep. Weekend today. Front page of Weekend today. What legacy? June 4th with a question mark. Cool mentality still reigns. Also a question. Comes with a picture of Akenteng Apia Menka. That's on the front page of the... This is the Weekend today. Today is June 4, actually. Remembrance of June 4, 1979. And Richmond Kilson, my former editor, when I was at Choice FM some years ago, many years ago, he's put a piece together. Richmond is a fantastic writer. And so I'll take time and read this. I urge you, please grab the Weekend Today newspaper and then check out what's in their story. This is definitely will be a good read.
Interesting. The June 4. I mean, some many years back, today would have been a holiday. There would have been a lot of route marches of a sort and celebration of that day. I mean, a lot has changed over the period, and the key figure in all of this discussion also died, unfortunately, not too long ago. Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings retired. And I understand the National Democratic Congress, they intend to organize a program. No,
there is an activity actually. So it's moved away from an intention. Okay. Let's see, I'll see if I can find it so I'll share it. There was something advertised and there will be speakers. So when we find that, we will share with you. That's it for the papers. There was something that we wanted to look at in terms of, one is the funeral of Sir John, may his soul rest in peace. It's just the numbers that people were comparing that to. Is it a comparison or the issue of the Fix the Country demonstration? You remember the reason the police went to court to essentially get the court to stop them from going on that demonstration. People are saying, well, you did this, but see, you're allowing this funeral to go on with so many people showing up. But it also reminds me, because we had some restrictions in place, there were some regulations, and I still remember it. It's so fresh on my mind because we dealt with it here. There were some pastors that called me. They didn't know the direction. So we had to go into it and do a full-blown show to get clarity. And it was that you could do a burial service in a church. There was no cap to it. But if you were going to the cemetery, it had to be 25 people and not more than that. And you didn't have to return to sit down and do, the way we do funeral, that was a no. So we are not sure if that has been revised.
It's a full-blown funeral.
Yeah, this was like a normal one, the normal one that we know of before COVID came. And so question, and authorities must answer this, have the restrictions been lifted totally? Because people say if you allowed this, then tomorrow is Saturday. Next weekend, when people are doing it, you can't stop them.
I mean, the angle that I choose to look at it from is on the reasoning behind passing those restrictions. I mean, the intention of those restrictions is to protect all of us and contain the spread of COVID-19. And so if for some reason there's any event, and we can learn very much from the Brits when they organized the Prince Philip funeral. Very simple, straightforward, brief. I mean, just not wanting to put people in any risk of the infection. And so that is what a lot of people are really concerned about. And there are those who would want to draw the parallels with the Fix the Country protesters, where we've been told that, look, you can't stage a walk, despite the fact that if sure they are going to space out among all other things to embark on that particular walk. We understand this morning they are actually walking from the Trades Union Congress to the High Court, where they are supposed to engage in a legal battle with the Ghana Police Service on these same matters of being allowed to stage a public protest for that matter. And so the criticisms have come in. The pictures I've seen, I mean, I have seen videos of people from this particular program who were not in mask, who were cheering the vice president, or some were in mask nonetheless. I've also seen another video of some people who were cheering on the Trades and Industry Minister, Alan Kojo Chairman thing, they were giving him fans, like we say here in Ghana. Giving a lot of fans there. And so that is what we've seen so far.
I just found and I need my producer and my director to check. I found the 42nd anniversary of June 4 Uprising. Their theme for this year is the relevance of June 4 to the contemporary Ghanaian democracy. So there is a ceremony today, the Bannerman Park Koligono at 7:30 a.m. After which, I think I saw another thing being advertised. They come back to the headquarters of the NDC for some speeches from some persons, also part of the lineup of activities. So yes, there is something happening by way of the June 4 Uprising. Okay, Joseph, I wanted us to also look at Dr. Dominic Ayeni and then what President Akufo-Addo said when he was not president.
Yeah, and so this was some years back. The clip that is making rounds doesn't reference the specific decision that he was speaking about, but he described it as being perverse, showing little scholarship and having no basis in law. And when he was proceeding to explain it, the clip ends. But I mean, the point that some have made is that the CJ inviting Dr. Ayeni, they said this amounts to infringing on free speech. And there are others who also make the argument that free speech is not absolute. And when you are making comments, you can criticize a judge, but when you make the comment that a judge is not independent, that is an accusation of bias. And in law, when you have any reason to feel that a judge is biased, you make a request for that judge to be excluded from that particular case and not allowed to hear the matter. And so people say that, look, he was not actually criticizing a judge. There are those who also say that the Chief Justice should have let this matter slide. Others again make the point that it was the same comments that he made that he was dragged to the Supreme Court during the election petition for the contempt, which he apologized, and he has repeated the same comments again. And so we'll see how that particular issue will shape out.
Okay, so this links very well with this issue of Dr. Oponing, Kwabena Oponing, former CEO of the Cocoa Board, his case in court, and the fact that his lawyers are asking for the judge sitting on the case to recuse himself. This will be the second time that they are making, this kind of move.
That is how serious the allegation of bias is. You get the person out. You don't allow him to stay on it. And so it's not something that you throw out in the public domain without any particulars or take any action about.
Okay, well, quickly, myjoyonline.com. Do we have time for that? In the meantime, my friend Godfred Goba says to tell you, Joseph Akable, that eagles don't eat prey they didn't kill. No way an eagle would eat a snake it didn't kill, apparently.
I see.
Yeah.
So what's his theory? He has a witchcraft theory to propound. No, I'm trying to. He's rejecting my theory.
No, he's not. He has a different opinion from yours.
That's fine.
And it sounds like a stated fact. So if you have something else,
I don't have any.
Then
I just don't. I couldn't top of my head think of a situation or what could have accounted for that.
Let's just quickly take a look at what's on myjoyonline.com before we make way for Muftau Nabila Abdullahi. Okay, go to myjoyonline.com and then you can explore. A very good morning to Papa Koakwe. Good morning to you. Join us. Okay, go ahead.
Muftau Nabila Abdullahi joins us for sports. He'll be talking to you about Hearts versus Olympics and Kotoko against Ashgrove. Kotoko will win that one. He'll give us a sense of who is likely to win. Okay, you're invited to that conversation after Muftau, actually. It's a full-blown one, and you're allowed to come as a fan of Kotoko. Muftau will handle the conversation exceptionally well. Oh, this guy. Stay with us. He's confused.
It is a weekend of derbies in the Ghana Premier League as Accra Hearts have come up against Great Olympics. Who owns the city? Is it the land guards or the landowners? That is a conversation among supporters of the club and also in the Ashanti region. Asante Kotoko will come up against Ashanti Gold. A conversation about who is the biggest club in the Ashanti region is up there for many fans to decide. Will sponsor Asante Kotoko get a win as they seek to win the Ghana Premier League for the first time in 7 years? Or is it going to be Ashanti Gold getting the better of the Porcupine Warriors? Great Olympics will be without the services one of their key men in the person of Samuel Ashikwe because of international assignments as Black Meteors get ready to come up against Japan later today. This and many more within the next 10 to 15 minutes with me, Muftau Nabila Ablai, on the AM show. First, let's start with Great Olympics, who will face Hearts of Oak on March 28th of the Ghana Premier League without the services of one of their key players in the person of Samuel Ashikwe. Two players who were instrumental in the game when Accra Hearts of Oak lost 2-0 to Great Olympics in the first round of the Ghana Premier League were the Kwe brothers, specifically Maxwell Abekwe and Samuel Ashikwe. Samuel will not be available for the game on Sunday because of national team assignment with the under-23, but head coach Anno Walker is not perturbed, saying he's only proud to have the draw in his team. Kwe brothers, Maxwell Abekwe and Samuel Ashikwe have contributed 11 goals as Great Olympics seek to finish among the top 4 clubs at the end of the Ghana Premier League season. Head coach of the team, Anno Walker, says it is a pleasure to have the two brothers play for one team and their contribution to the quest of the club in the ongoing Premier League season is one he's excited about.
You know, they are fantastic players of all standards. If they should be in the national teams, one played in the under-20, came back and went to the local blaster. One with the main national team, travel with the local blasters. This tells you how fantastic they are. And I'm happy also having my two brothers all in the Ghana national team. That makes me proud. So I'm happy having them there.
The total number of goals contributed by the Kwe brothers seem to suggest they pass the ball among themselves to ensure they are the star players within the team. However, Maxwell Abekwe insists the success of the team comes first before their individual respective desires.
We are in a team and it's always a team first, you understand? Not individual. That's the motive behind my football, the way I play. So sometimes you can see even on the training grounds, I can face a keeper and yet waiting for someone to come and then I give a pass. You could see, that's me. If you are in a very good position, if he's in a very good position, I can give him. If he's not in a good position, I will not give it to him. Even before we come to the field, we have to discuss because when we are in camp, we sleep together. We are in the same room. You understand? So, right when we get to the camp, we begin to talk about the game. Where maybe if you see me at one particular position, there's a sign I'm gonna do, and he knows what he's supposed to do with the ball. Understand? So if you should watch against Hearts of Oak, yeah, when everybody was rushing, I decided to delay. I raised my hand far back before getting close to the goalpost. So what he was doing by then, he was waiting for me.
Great Olympics, since the commencement of the Ghana Premier League season, have been within the top 4 clubs in the competition. Now let's take a look at the fixtures for March Day 28 in the Ghana Premier League. About 5 derbies will be happening this weekend, starting on Saturday. Midiama SA will play Karela United. Asante Kotoko on Sunday will host Ashanti Gold. Brekum Chelsea will also play King Faisal. Dreams FC will come up against Elmina Sharks, whilst Ebusua Drafts will also play Ediana Stars. Great Olympics versus Accra Hearts of Oak. It is called the Gamashi Derby. Who is the landlord and who is the landowner who is the Langard. Let's take a look at that on Sunday. And also, Liberty Professional will come up against Wafa. Many say this appears to be like a Sogakope derby because Liberty currently play their matches in Sogakope, and 11 Wonders will also play Bechimi United. On Monday, Legon Cities will play Inter Allies. Inter Allies, rooted at the foot of the Ghana Premier League table, Legon Cities have moved to 9th place on the Ghana Premier League table. From the men's football, let's take a look at the women's division because it is the last round of matches for them as they wrap up their Premier League season. And in the northern zone, you have Prison Ladies come up against Fabulous Ladies. Unfortunately, it appears Fabulous Ladies are going to be relegated from the Women's League for the first time since its inception in 2012. There's Northern Ladies versus Ampim Dakwan Ladies. There's also Kumasi Sports Academy versus Pelpia Ladies, and Ashtown Ladies will come against Supreme Ladies. In the southern zone is the biggest game of the zone as Berry Ladies will come up against Second D Hazakers, which is Hazakers Ladies. Sea Lions will play Thunder Queens. There's also Police Ladies versus Lady Strikers, whilst Soccer Intellectuals will play Immigration Ladies. The same June 8th, when the Black Meteors will be in action against Japan again, the Black Stars will also be in Rabat to face Morocco as CK Akono seeks to build a national team capable of winning the 2022 African Cup of Nations. According to him, he has a fair idea about the opponents he will be coming up against because his technical team has been doing a lot of monitoring on the opponents. The two friendly matches against Morocco and Ivory Coast serves as an opportunity for the technical team of the Black Stars to assess the qualities of players available at their disposal. Head coach of the team, CK Akono, says he has an idea about the strength and weaknesses of the opponents because of the extensive coverage his technical team has provided.
As to what we know about the opponent, of course, it will not be appropriate for me to make it public, okay? And we have a very good video analyst who is doing a good job, and that Zimbabwe, South Africa, Ethiopia, we have a way of watching them and how we can approach the game, and that is why it's also important for us to prepare very well. This, I'm grateful to the FA for, within this short period of time, to organize these two friendlies, which is very, very appropriate and good for us.
In the last Black Stars collapse for the African Cup of Nations qualifiers against South Africa and Sao Tome and Principe, about 14 local players were given an opportunity to train with the team, with 12 of them subsequently making the final squad. Akono says the home-based players deserve an equal chance of playing for the senior national team, and he expects that whenever they are invited, they will give their all to maintain their place in the team.
I think it will be fair for you to understand that this time around we've had a lot of local guys, or home-based players. I prefer to say that, home-based players. And the last time we had a call-up, it was about 14, if I'm mistaken, maybe 14. About 8 now. And now about 8, okay. And so we are in a very, very good process. All that I want to tell our home-based players that they are coming to the national team should make them aware that there's a chance for them to come and start, not to sit on the bench or somewhere, you know. And so anybody at all in this country, in our league, doing so well, will quickly get note of what he's doing, and will make a call up. And so we are not too much worried about what they are doing and what they are not doing. But they are doing well. Of course, we've had I think 4 or 5 strikers in the team now, and hopefully when they also continue to improve in that area, we will invite. But there's a lot of progress with our national team.
9 home-based players have been invited for these games against Morocco and Ivory Coast to be played on June 8th and June 12th, respectively.
The title race really in the 2020-2021 Ghana Premier League, we understand from persons who have followed, it has been one of the best in recent years. We've seen Hearts of Oak and Kotoko, coming at each other. There is Great Olympics, who is also doing really well this season. And today we want to put the spotlight and do some analysis because we've got some fantastic games coming up this weekend. Accra has a vote and Olympics.
No, we play home. We play home.
Hey, Langabell is already doing the introduction.
Yeah, we play home.
Hey, yo, we here. There's Kotoko and Ashgold. That's
Yes,
also another crucial one. And then there's Mediama and Karela as well. Lots of good football coming up this weekend, and it's all really crucial because we've got very few games to close. Let me just quickly introduce to you my guest this morning to have the conversation with. Langabell has already done the introduction himself. So good morning.
Good morning, lady.
Nice. But why are you in Chelsea?
I'm a Chelsea fan.
Okay, you. Aloya Mande, CEO of Karela, will be joining us. Fifi Taki is a sports journalist. He's joining us via Zoom. There's also Jerome Boateng, who is a football journalist. Jerome Osher, I beg your pardon. I was putting him on the pitch. But no, he's not. He's a football journalist. Good to have you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, great.
Good morning.
All right. Also joining us on Zoom is Kwame Owusu Ansa. He's a Hearts of Oak fan. What's up, Kwame?
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, great. Thanks for joining us. So, gentlemen, I think Fifi, I haven't heard from Fifi. He'll probably be joining us a little later in this call. Oh, there you are. Hi, Fifi.
Hi, Mama V. How are you?
Nice. I'm good. Did you have to wear that?
I was just getting ready to leave home, so.
All right. Okay, guys. So let's just make it clear. Fifi is a Great Olympics fan. Great Olympics is third on the table, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, great. How crucial is this game tomorrow against Accra Hearts of Oak?
Sunday.
On Sunday.
Well, Good Olympics Hearts of Oak has always been a crucial game. If you follow the game from the 80s, it has always been a crucial game for both teams. But the good thing is that this season, Accra Great Olympics are in scintillating form. They are doing extremely well. Hearts of Oak are not doing badly at all. I think they've not lost their last 5 games. That makes them very, very competitive to play Accra Great Olympics. We are looking forward to this game. And most importantly, victory will be ours on Sunday.
All right. Jerome, are you also with a school of thought that says that the title race has been the best in recent years, this 2020-2021?
Yes, and coming from the background where we've not had any competitive league competition in the last 2 or 3 years, because we know there was number 12, which disrupted our game. And then just when we bounced back, we also had COVID also disrupting the game. So against that backdrop, this one has been very, very competitive. I don't remember the last time I saw a neck-to-neck race like this. I mean, I also don't remember the last time I saw any club stay on top of this competition for more than 2 weeks. You'll be there for 2 match days, and by the 3rd match day, you've been dethroned. And that's what we've seen. In fact, if you look at where Hearts of Oak are now, there's a likelihood that by Monday morning, they may have been dethroned. And that gives a lot of credence to the assumption that the competition has been very competitive this time.
Let's hear from Toti.
Well, I think it's been a great season. My other senior panelists have said it all. Because of the truncated seasons, 2 seasons ago and last season, I think this has been very competitive, and most of the teams are giving up their best.
Okay, so let me put the same question to you, Langabell. Yeah. What do you make of how the season has picked up nicely?
Fantastic. Fantastic, ladies. Let me tell you something. This game, you see, anytime I talk Accra Great Olympics, we are in the system of Ghana football. Everything's changed together when things are all right for Olympics. But if you see that there's a problem in Olympics with the, how do you call it, with the big men, the fans are acquiring, and so on, then you make the football, even though the league is not attractive, the league too is not fit. Likewise, as my brothers are saying, Olympics When we go, how do you call it? We go to Division 1, then we come back. We go to Division 1, then we come back. You see, I mean, to make the football make attractive. But right now, as my junior brothers are saying, everything is under control. And let me tell you something. Before Keto Kriku will come, no, he said that let us bring the football back. We bring the love back. The love back.
Yeah.
And true. If you see, if it's not because of this COVID, sister, you see the stadium, even though before the COVID comes so far, when you watch Bechem and Karela, them know, people are going to stadium with their normal numbers. That's why Nana said that, the president said that no, when we don't take time, the COVID will spread for the supporters and the footballers, or you should hold on. But right now, as the things going slowly, look at the other stadiums. Everything's under control. And as my brother said, I never see the football where you be in the first position. You be in the first position until about 4, 5, 6 games before. No. This one where we are playing, nobody know the person who chop first, except it remain 2 matches before we know the person who chop first. Because when we started, Karela did for the first. Before we come to Bechem, after Bechem, Kotoko come. After Kotoko come, Accra Great Olympics. Before Asofo come to be the second position again. Then Karela go back again. Then Kotoko draw. Then Olympics go. No, as my brothers are saying, you know, first, second, third, and fourth, always the league table of that top four is changing match by match. You got it.
Yes,
no,
I do.
But when people are saying that they took the league, they take the league, no.
Which are people?
You will know.
Fifi Langabel is also talking about the competitiveness of the league this season. Does that help? You know, the fact that anybody could be on top at the end of this weekend.
Oh yes, I mean the league has been highly competitive. As he said, I don't recall the last time we saw a Ghana Premier League like that. It's been I don't recall at all. Yes. It's been very, very highly competitive. There's no any other team that has been able to capture the top spot for more than 3 weeks. It's impossible because even at the relegation bottom, it's competitive there because. From Liberty to Legon Cities and King Faisal and all of them. I mean, if King Faisal win 2 games, they will move from the relegation spot. So, in terms of competitiveness, the league has been very, 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 very competitive. And I must say congratulations to. But anytime Olympics is on top form, I mean, traditionally the league gets excited. Maybe people don't know that, but. That is a fact. When Olympics are on top form, the league is always excited. And it's good that we have Kotoko, Hearts of Oak, and Olympics on top of the league, first, second, third. So it's good for our football. I hope that when the league itself gets, we're done with the league, we'll replicate the same form and players will not get rusty and put on weight and all kind of things. So I'm hoping that players will continue with this form. And I must say congratulations to all the 3 teams on top. In fact, all the teams, all the 18 teams, they've done yeoman's job. I mean, they've entertained fans when they go to the stadium. You always have a player to go and watch. I can talk about the Abe brothers of Olympics. I can talk about Wakaso. There's one defender from Deportivo, Asokwa Deportivo, I've forgotten his name, fantastic player. I mean, they're exciting players to watch when you go to the stadium, unlike before, that maybe it's only one player, and when he leaves the shores of Ghana, then the league becomes boring and people don't go to the stadium. So I entreat people to come to the stadium on Sunday, come and watch exciting football of Accra Great Olympics and Accra Hearts of Oak. Yeah,
but Jerome, would you agree that anytime Great Olympics is in good form, then the league gets exciting?
Oh, Jerome is too young to know that.
I may be too young to know that, but what I have come to know is that Olympics themselves have been in and out of the competition, and so when they are back into it, they seem to have a lot of excitement. And let's admit it, there's a lot of fun around them, and it is that fun they bring into the competition which makes them think that anytime they are in, the league gets more exciting. Because for us, Kotoko, who have been in the system throughout from the 50s to this point, we've always enjoyed ourselves. And it is that enjoyment we are taking to Obuasi on Sunday to make sure that we dip in the walls of ash gold. I was just looking at the league table. They are not in a really good position. Well, they are definitely going to avoid relegation. But if you look at the fact that there are 7 more matches.
Yes, of course. That's the nature of Accra Asufo. If you follow the Accra Asufo for long, you realize that we thrive in these situations. And talking about flashy offices and cars and stuff, the Pobiman project is in the offing, so we are building gradually.
Definitely.
And I believe that is what is translating into results on the field. I think we've not been good administratively lately, but of course, in recent past, the Pobiman project, you realize that the board chairman is helping build structures administratively. We've done good purchases. For once in a long time, we've acquired a very good manager, and you realize that things are translating on the field of play. Again, I want to comment on the fact that whenever Olympics is doing well, the league is exciting. I think we are the cause of that. We actually helped in building their ego by losing to them in the first round. But trust me, this Sunday, we are going to deflate that ego and then we put them back into their place. And as for Kotoko, they've been dropping points, and we only hope that it will continue.
Lagabel, you have a response for him?
Oh, yes. Let me tell you something. That guy, the man is sitting there, he shouldn't be a loose. He shouldn't try to be a loose at all. Because one, Accra Asofo, a team called us. The whole Ghana know that we are the people who help Accra Asofo. If Olympics, let me tell you something. About 10 years, Olympics is able not to do anything in the Premier League. Where is Asofo? 10 years, where is Asofo? No, ask him, where is Asofo?
So we
give them players before they pump how we give them the coach. We give them everything. If because it's not Josa Tukwefiu, Arizako, how do you call it? Like kissing and downplay.
So this season, what have you given Hearts of Oak?
Nothing. Nothing. Unless I die.
That's exactly the
you see,
we take their
Asofo, let me tell you something. Since Arizako leave Asofo, Asofo is special. They are nowhere to be found.
Isn't it the Hearts of Oak that's on top of the league table that you're talking about right now?
What I'm saying right now.
Yes.
The league where we are playing, nobody know who took the league.
Yeah, but they're on top of the table.
Oh, but are we not top on the table before? No, I ask you. Are we not top on the table before? We make our mistake where Asofo come and take up. Can't do the league top. Oh. Because of our players mess up with Adwana scores in how do you call it, a class 4 stadium. If other than that, we pass Asofo. Other than that, we pass Asofo.
Yeah, but Langabel, I appreciate what you're saying, but it really doesn't matter. Look at the table right now.
The table is
after 27 games,
yes.
Hearts of Oak is on top with 49 points.
Thank you for the word.
That's a fact.
It's a fact. It's there.
Yes.
That's what I'm telling you. That the game by game, anybody can't you see what Jerome tell you? Every game, or FIFA will not talk it. What he tell you, you don't understand. Every game, when you play and you win, you will come and be a top. But when you lose, you draw a point. No, that's I'm saying that Asofo shouldn't brag themselves, say that because they are on the top, they are so. We are in the system. Okay, so gentlemen, let's talk about because apart from the fact that Jerome, you're Kotoko, and Fifi, you are great Olympics, you're also great analysts. So let's talk about the team forms right now. Put on your analytical hats, and let's talk about the team Hearts of Oak. Fifi, I'll start with you.
Okay, so I've taken my hat off as Olympics fan.
Nice.
In terms of football, the others might differ, but I think that Olympics is well structured on the field of play. The passing, interpassing, I see Olympics can possess the ball for about 10, 15 minutes before they lose the ball. I have watched Kotoko, I have watched Hearts of Oak, I have watched Ashanti Gold, and I watched the game against Wafa. And if you're talking about football, possession football, I think Wafa is one of the best in the league. And if Olympics went to Wafa and were able to beat them by 3-2, it tells you their pedigree. I'm surprised about a team like Interlice, where they found themselves in, because they also like to play football, attacking football. A team like Ebusian Dwarfs, they have a very good coach. They played very good football. And I think Barreto has changed Kotoko a bit. No disrespect to Maxwell Kunedu, he did wonderfully well. But I think that there's been some change in the Kotoko setup now. It tells you clearly that the Ghana Premier League is highly competitive, and officiating as well has been, it's been not too good, but I mean, officiating, you cannot rule it out. I mean, everybody has his opinion, being offside or penalty, or I've seen some ridiculous penalties. I don't want to mention names.
I'll mention it.
Yeah.
I'll talk about
I've seen some ridiculous penalties in the league, but largely the teams are doing extremely well, and you see the professionalism in which all the teams, I think they're putting pressure on each other. Hazofo got their bars not too long ago. Kotoko had theirs. Karela had theirs. Olympics had theirs. So the teams don't have it. They will put pressure on them. And if these things gives the players some kind of comfort and it relax them to play good football. If the players are not in good spirit and they think about how to get to the field and accommodation-wise is not good and all that, it makes them uncomfortable. So that's the reason why we are seeing that results on the field of play. And I must say kudos to the handlers of all the teams. They've done yeoman's job so far.
Okay. Jerome, how would you analyze the form of the clubs?
I think to start with Hearts of Oak, they have been on and off. I mean, when Papic came, I had some confidence that he was going to transform things. He had 1-2 wins, and then all of a sudden everything crumbled. Coach Boadu, I must say, is surprising me, but there isn't so much work for him to do.
But Hearts of Oak has lost. They've not lost their last 5 games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm saying that it's not so much to do with the fact that he is in charge. I'm saying that the quality in the Hearts team is already there. You needed someone to just bring in some stability, and that is what Boadu has done. I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just saying that the Hearts of Oak have the players. It's just like Asante Kotoko. It got to a point where Maxwell, and I've said this over and over again, Maxwell, the decision to get rid of him was too rushed. At some point, Kotoko was going to stabilize, and that is what we are seeing now. Barreto will still need to put his feet down and get certain things right. I, for instance, didn't like the kind of changes he made in the goalkeeping department in the last 2 games. I thought it was unnecessary. It contributed to the team's inability to win, whether we like it or not. So for the teams, it's good that now Hearts have some stability. Kotoko is also coming up. Fifi mentioned Interlice. I'm very surprised they are at the bottom of the table because football. King Faisal still have problems, and I fear for them. I don't know how they're going to recover with.
Jerome, if King Faisal win 2 games, they are up from the relegation bottom.
But didn't they just fire their manager, or the manager left? So they still have serious issues. Hello, Jerome? Hello? Oh, I think I'm afraid we lost Jerome. Was it Jerome we lost or Fifi? Okay. Kindly unmute Jerome. Hello, Jerome. Okay, Jerome Ochre can't seem to hear me. Fifi, can you hear me? Not quite. Okay, so let me go to Toti. Toti, talk to me about the form that Hearts has right now.
Okay, I'll start off by saying that it's actually been a roller coaster season for Hearts of Hope. Don't look at the fact that Hearts is lying on top of the league now. The league actually started on a very difficult note for Hearts. You remember all these COVID issues that made sure that Hearts didn't start the league. Hearts had to wait for all the clubs to start before they joined in the start. Again, Hearts lost points against Ashgold. Hearts had not won any match in the first 4 matches. So there was a bit of pressure on Hearts of Hope. That was how come Coach Odum had to leave for Nee Thompson to continue before Costa Papic stepped in. And when Costa Papic came in, I, for once, was very much hopeful because of his previous stint with Hearts of Hope. And I thought the profiles of the players who are in the team currently were very much likened to that of the team he coached before. So I thought he could do a very good job. He started on a bright note, and then along the line, a lot of issues came up and he had to go. So I think, like Jerome said, the quality is there. We only needed someone who would be a bit more pragmatic and still believe in the team so that we hit the ground running. And rightly so, that is exactly what's happening at Accra House of Hope. I would want to also comment about Ashanti Gold. I think they have been architects of their own downfall. Changing 5 coaches in a season definitely is not going to help your cause. Teams like Mediema have had a blip in the past few games. They started so well. In fact, they were the team tipped to win this league because in the last 2 truncated seasons, they were actually before the league was stopped. So all in all, I think the teams are being competitive, and it's also due to the fact that talents are widely spread across all the teams. A lot of teams are showing ambition because there are various degrees of investments in the teams. Karela is now being helped by the Ghana Gas, Mediema backed by Goldfield, and it's a good thing to note that people are actually showing interest and actually investing so well in the teams for the league to be this competitive.
Okay. Jerome, if you can hear me, I think you were talking about Ken Faisal, your surprise why Interlice is where they are on the league table. If you can hear me, you can continue.
Yeah, so I was saying that it surprises me because I think administratively they are about the best run football club in the country. They have very young and quality players. I don't know what went wrong. My only assumption is that they had problems in the first round. You see, the league competition is such that if you don't get a good start, if you don't really build up points in the first round, in the second round, when teams are really prepping to either stay or win the competition, you are going to struggle to win. And that is what King Faisal is facing. That is what Interlice are also facing. It is not as if they can't win. It is all that all the other teams are doing more to either stay in the competition or achieve their targets for the season. Olympics have said that they may want to be in the top 4 or even win the competition. How are you going to beat a team like Olympics when you are bottom at the table? There's no way they will give in. Hearts of Oak are gunning to also win the competition for the first time in 10, 11 years. How are you, if you are King Faisal, going to beat them with that ambition inside? If you take the other teams like Mediema, I think they also somehow caused their own problems. If you look at the fact that they changed too many players, they've changed coaches, and then even for Ashgold, Kwame mentioned it so well that they've been architects of their own problems. 5 coaches in a season, it's so unreasonable. It is definitely going to affect the stability of your team. And for Ashgold, they are going to get paid for that because Kotoko are beating them on Sunday. For the rest of the teams, Ebusia Dwarfs, I thought they were doing well along the line, only for them to crumble after that game with Legon Cities that did not end. That point deduction they suffered has really affected them.
Okay.
It is out. I think a lot of people are not looking at what Coach Bashir Hayford is doing. He was brought in to ensure some stability in that setup. And so far, I think he's doing it.
Well, if you're watching us, you want to be part of this conversation, get ready because that opportunity will come shortly. But Langabel, you're also going to talk to me about the form of the clubs. You said when Fifi mentioned that there had been some bad officiating, you said you're going to mention it.
Yes. Madam.
Yes, sir.
You know that, how do you call it? Keto administration say that is bringing something better for the nation. But because of announced expose, all the referees has changed. But let me tell you that some of the referees are not changing my character. Some of the referees are not. Let me tell you something. If your people can bring Axe match, as of versus King Faisal, Bichim, and 11 Wonders, you see really that the ball, it was a penalty. Real penalty. You took penalty to score somebody. Why somebody get a penalty if you didn't take it? When you watch, you see, it seems like the player want to beat the referee. When they show right now, you see it. See it, lady. See right now. This is, you are lady, what is this? No, what is this? If the referees are not supporting Asofo, some of the referees are not supporting Asofo. See you yourself, see what is going on. Some of the referees put their hand and the whistle for their mouth to know that they are, some of them they are helping Asofo.
But Langabel,
yes.
the fact is, referees will not get everything right. But that would not mean that they are supporting a certain club.
But why they ban the referees? Why they suspend the referees? If you didn't help somebody, why did they suspend?
So there must be proof. If it is proving that
it's proving in the telly right now. See the telly, it's proving. The thing is proving. Then you are telling me, you are asking me that if it was proving. The thing is proving the telly right now. You and I sitting here watching.
No. Okay, Langabel, calm down.
I'm coming down, my sweet laddie.
When I say it must be proving, the allegation of a referee helping a club, that's what I mean by you must prove beyond just what you see on the pitch, that somebody is on somebody's side.
Thank you, lady. But this is not something like you have to prove. The proof is coming from the television. The proof is coming from the television.
Okay, so let me get a few thoughts in terms of bad officiating. I know that Fifi, you were having your doubts. You didn't want to mention names, but are these the games that you were thinking about, Fifi?
Yes, I don't want to mention names again. I want to be very, but there's been maybe Jerome Wall. There's been horrible officiating on some of the games. Horrible. Some penalties given. And I mean, it's not good for the game. I'm thinking that after number 12, all these things will stop. But it looks like some of the referees, I don't know if they are fanatics of a particular club or they are the number 12 on the pitch for them. I really don't know, but they must up their game professionally. If we want to attract, we want to see our referees officiating in the CAF Champions League, in the Confederation Cup, in all the CAF competitions, they must up their game, because whatever we are saying, whatever we are doing here, people are listening and they are watching.
Jerome, for fans like myself, we usually are interested in the score line, so we may not pay attention to the referees. So has it been that bad for you as well?
I think there are isolated cases of terrible officiating. I wouldn't say throughout the season we've had very bad officiating. I mean, across board. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that for some specific matches, the officiating has just been bad, and there can be no justification for it, especially when the FA itself is coming up to ban or suspend those referees in those games. You have good cause to say that it's been terrible. And Langabel mentioned the Hasselhoff game against King Faisal. It was that bad. I mean, you have a referee who sees a penalty, and you see that the replays were only confirming that it's either the referee was incompetent or just did not know what he was doing on the pitch. In that game,
but Jerome, not to cut you. You know, if you have opportunity of looking at the replay, is different from the incident happening on the pitch. If you're watching replay, you can comfortably sit at your couch and say, "Oh, this is a penalty." Not to hold brief for the referees though, but if we are able to introduce the VAR like we saw at the Fadaman Park, maybe some of these things can be avoided.
You see, Fifi, I'm not disputing this. It's very difficult for the referees sometimes. But some of the decisions, I mean, let's go to Hatsofo Galmina Sharks. The referee claims he spotted a penalty. He awarded a penalty. Now, if the claim is that you saw the incident and you want to punish the player who committed the offense, you walk straight to that player and punish him. In this case, he punished a different player. He showed a red card to a player who was not even close to the incident. In such a situation,
but the team has ability to protest, and it can be changed. We've seen that in the EPL. They can change it.
See, all I'm saying is all these things are there, but we expect of the referees to know what they know to be. I mean, to do what they know to be right. Go back to the Kotoko game, Kotoko Liberty. The last time I spoke about referees in the competition, a lot of the Hearts fans felt that I was shielding Kotoko, or I didn't want to talk about Kotoko. But the Kotoko Liberty game in Sogakope, a free kick was awarded that led to Kotoko's goal, and everybody knows that there was no foul. So, you know, we cannot say the competition has had very bad officiating, but there have been some cases of officiating which haven't gone too well, and which the referees will really have to work on. Because at the end of the day, I've seen a post by our big friend Kojo Adai-Mensah talking about referees being punished for giving bad decisions, yet the outcome of the game doesn't change. If the referees,
I was going to come to that because for me, there's no sense in punishing the referee. If you punish the referee or suspend the referee or whatever it is, you have admitted that the referee is at fault. Agree?
Yes.
So what happens to the points? What happens to the points? You've not done anything. You've only aided the team to climb up the ladder.
Exactly. And where we have examples to show that it is going to happen again, I will wish for the situation where not just Ghana football, but the football world will reach the point where even when the referee is changed, or is punished, the outcome of the game must also be reversed.
Yeah.
Or something should be done, because otherwise it really makes no sense. If a referee can cheat and hand the club victories or give them the points that is so much needed, and at the end of the day he's going to be suspended, what it means is that referees can still do that, help the club, and at the end of the day the club will benefit.
So have you been, Jerome, has your club been at the receiving end of such bad officiating? Have you benefited?
Oh, of course.
This season?
There's no club in the Ghana Premier League that can say it has not benefited from bad officiating.
Okay, Kotoko has benefited this season?
Come again?
Has Kotoko benefited this season?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, I mentioned the Liberty game where a foul was awarded to Kotoko that led to Kotoko's goal. And but for that goal, Kotoko would have lost that match. And I'm saying that in such a situation, it is difficult for me to overlook that incident and go and talk about Hearts of Oak.
Okay.
I saw that incident. I thought the referee's judgment was wrong, much as others too have had it wrong. So it is not a matter of Hearts of Oak being favored, although some of their matches, they seem to have had many of such incidents. I'm only saying that we need to look at those isolated cases and do something about it, because you see, now it is 7 or 6 matches left. By the time we are left with 2 or 3 matches, things are really going to get tense. And the ref will have a lot of control. They will have a lot of say in what happens to any of the teams in the competition.
Okay, so at this point, let me say good morning. Welcome to the conversation. Lawyer Monday, he's CEO for Karela. If you can hear me, let's see you say hello.
Hi.
Okay, great to have you. We've progressed. We've progressed in this conversation. But let me ask of your opinion in terms of the forms that you've seen. Let's start with Karela because that's your team.
May I ask you, Mama, why you're wearing a Hearts of Oak shirt?
Oh, because I'm a fan.
I'm not a Karela United shirt.
I'm a Hearts fan.
You're a Hearts fan?
Yes.
Is your producer a Karela United fan?
My colleague, Joseph Akable, is a Karela fan.
Okay, I'm going to bring him a Karela shirt.
Please add me to it.
No way. I don't give gifts to rivals.
But Aloy, I mean, Karela, you were in great form. I remember George Adjiniya telling the Karela story. We all fell in love with it. You were on top of the table, and then suddenly we saw you drop. Now I think you're like 4 on the table. What's happened to your team? Tell us about your form this season.
Well, it's been a remarkable journey. I am sure that if you ask the guys on your sports desk and for any even casual observer of the game, no one would have predicted that 7 games to go, Karela will be 4th on the table, 5 points off the top, and will still be in contention for the league title. So we've really come far. We are excited by the progress that we have made this year, but at the same time also we're a bit disappointed by the form we have shown in the second round of the league. But yeah, I think that the issues, it's been really like a topsy-turvy season. Kotoko have had their ups and downs. Hearts of Oak certainly were out of it.
Hello, Aloy? Okay, I'm afraid I think we've lost that connection, but we'll raise him back.
On him. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Go on.
Yeah, sorry. So I'm just saying that we've just had our ups and downs, and our down moment seems to have come at the start of the second round, where we have drawn a lot of matches that, in our estimation, should have been games that we won. But yeah, we are still in it, and we are going at it.
Just before you connected, we were talking about bad officiating. And I think Fifi Taki and Jerome had said there have been some isolated cases. I was asking Jerome if Kotoko had been at the receiving end of such, and he admits. So do you have concerns about bad officiating this season?
Yeah. I think I'll be remiss if I said anything otherwise. I mean, the quality and the standard of officiating has been really questionable. I think as club administrators, we have had occasion in some of our conversations and engagements to raise that. I certainly, for one, I'm looking forward to end of season review meetings as Premier League CEOs to raise that issue. Certainly, it's something that I'm sure the rest of my colleagues in the game will discuss anytime we have the opportunity to go to Congress, which is a wider football community. You know what? I mean, we all watch the game, right? We watch the game locally, we watch the game internationally. Referees, like our players, will make mistakes. Our coaches make mistakes. I mean, some coaches lose their jobs because of a series of mistakes that they make, which puts the team in a bad position. So referees are going to make mistakes. We're going to discuss that. But sometimes you look at some of the decisions that the referees make, and you think that some of the decision is gone beyond just human error, you know. But the difficulty, as my brother Jerome was highlighting, is how, without evidence, how to highlight that this particular mistake was motivated and this particular mistake was not motivated. At the same time, when I say this, I need to give credit to the FA and the referee review panel. I think they've been the busiest committee at the GFA this season, because after every match, there are a series of videos that clubs send back to them, highlighting issues that they think is wrong or they think have not been dealt with properly, and they've consistently had to make decisions on these things. So I think that should even signal something to the GFA that, you know what, there's a roots and branch review that must happen with refereeing. Do we bring robots to referee our game? Well, I think that would be the solution, but do we have artificial intelligence that's ready now to solve that problem? Yeah, because this human issue, I don't know. I really don't.
All right. Well, Eloy, stay with us. At this point, if you're watching and you want to get involved in the conversation, please feel free. 0302-211-6912. Let's talk about our teams and the games that they are facing this weekend. Langabel, who's your money on? Obviously, Great Olympics, but have you seen any vision in terms of how the game will go?
Oh, we are going to score a class of four. Definitely.
With what?
With leg.
Any predictions in terms of the scoreline?
We are giving the same canoe. The canoe we parried them the first round. We are parrying them the same canoe second round. Right now, there's no sympathy for any cripple.
Have you seen the Hearts form? Did you watch the last game?
Forget about the Hearts form. Look, let me tell you something. My last game, they play with who? Liberty. Our last game, we play with Unity. FC, you saw the game. We just pump out the boys, let our boys rest for a class of four, and we bring our second team. The second team beat them 2-0. And as of we play with Liberty, we bring the first team, and you thought you are doing best. Let me tell you something. People are saying so many things let me tell you something. You see, Olympics, when referee, it make mistake for Olympics. We haven't said anything. We just make cool. But when we are watching, look the penalty the referee took against Olympics, we in Karela. It's fantastic penalty. It's fantastic. There's no any Olympic supporter who will report about this referee. That what the referee did is bad.
So that was a good call.
It's a very good call because the man immediately the guy kicked the ball hits. Look, he hit our player hand. You see, he hit our player hand. The first one is not this one. He hit our player hand. When the referee say penalty, me myself I watch the ball. I say yes, this is a rare referee. Way is handling fantastic match. Now when you take something here, this one. When you take something, when the referee appointed referee penalty like this, you're the supporter, you say that it's your player who made a mistake before. Well, you cannot say anything against the referee. But it doesn't mean that the referee, you know that this one is rare penalty. Then you tell yourself, it seems like you don't know what is going on. What is happening? This is unbelievable. Well, I'm telling the referees that they shouldn't spoil critical administration. They shouldn't spoil, because of that. They don't take them to AFCON or anything.
Yeah.
Because they are doing things which is not bad.
Okay, I'll come back to you because I want to push and see if you would give me a scoreline at least. But James is in Axim and Mark is in Bubuashi. James, good morning.
Good morning, Mama.
Tell us about your team.
May I speak?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm more
Hats.
The same thing.
Nice.
I'm more than has a group but then we share a Olympic team for Nika Olympic football and Katankata. The Olympic team for this season within one another Ankata. Now, I know what could be there. Team no, as for dinner. Or there, what you could not there, continue to stick out. Well, so what you could not there, what you really feel as well. What's the point is to I had them now there. Yes, games will be where referees will do a mistake. Case Manchester United. Referee on my Torres red card. What can we give you Torres? Until what takes another or the more. Until it will referee mistake. Because game no abwe remember the football na we are referees watch on us so appoint in one and she them na on the game no oyeta okay robo back go to match na.
Okay. All right, James James is calling from Maxim, and essentially James was having a bite on the issue of what happens to the points given to the other party when a call a wrong call is made, essentially. And Fifi and Jerome were just talking about the issue of, even if you deal with the referee, the point is already given. So what happens? It's I'm not sure it was just them raising the issue and thinking about the fact that we should be finding a solution to that sometime in the future. But let me talk to Sam. Sam is in Takrade. Good morning, Sam. Hello, Sam. Sam, can you hear me? Okay. Hello, Sam. Not quite. I'm afraid I lost Sam.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Roland.
Okay. All right, Roland. Where are you calling from? Okay, great. And you support which team?
Oh, I'm Kotoko.
You're Kotoko. You're meeting Ash Gold.
I'm interested in this match, how to book Olympic.
Oh, you want to talk about how to... Okay, what's your interest? You want Hearts to lose?
Yeah, definitely. Hearts is going to lose this match. Yeah, definitely.
I wish you mind your own business.
Yes.
Roland, I said I wish you would mind your own business.
Roland move.
Oh no, I think
but I'm much interested in this match that Olympics will beat Hartford and Kotoko will win against Ashanti.
Okay, I hear you. Francis is in Brekum. Francis, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Is it Chelsea you support?
No, Hartford.
Oh, nice. Masters.
Yeah.
Okay, so what thoughts do you want to share with us?
Oh, we are going to win by 2-1 against Edison.
How many goals did you say?
2-1 against
3.
Olympic.
Okay, nice. Is there anything that you see, reason you give 3?
Ask him that, is it
madam,
dream,
for me, they are
is it
talking
dream
about
or it's learning?
I'm not talking about them because if you see the starting of the season, where us are and today where they are, no, madam. We should forget about them.
Okay, so Francis,
let me ask you something. Francis, do you listen careful? Francis.
What do you want to add?
Thank you. Francis, what you say right now, are you dreaming or you are moving?
Hello.
You don't listen. You don't hear what I said.
No, let me explain. Francis, Langabel essentially is asking the 3 goes to 1, the score line that you give. Also, Diana say,
No, madam, I'm not dreaming.
Okay, all right, Francis, thank you. Solomon is in Kumasi. Solomon, is it Ash Gold or is Kotoko for you? Okay, Yate.
My sister, this morning, let me greet you. You are doing a fantastic job for the nation. God bless you for that. I am calling from Kumasi, and Achiasi wants to be precise inside Achuman Wabejanov. Coming up weekend, Kumasi will be playing against our Antwerp. And that match is not an easy match. It's not an easy match at all. But it's our prayer that Kumasi Kotoko can win it and take the 3 points. And Olympics, I know Olympics can do it. What Olympics need is good officiating.
That's all.
If they get good officiating, Olympics can beat Hasselhoek hands down.
Wait till you meet them.
We meet who?
Olympics.
Olympics, we draw with them. We draw with them. They have a good team. The Hasselhoek. All Olympic need is good officiating. If they get good officiating, they will beat Hasselhoek hands down.
We hear you. We hear you, Solomon. Thank you very much. Let me speak to Cosmos. Is my last caller. Cosmos is in Cape Coast. Is it Elmina Sharks for you?
No, please.
Oh, okay. So what's your club?
I want to talk about the fact that points should be deducted from teams when referees make mistakes. My take on this issue is that should not be the case. Why am I saying this? Let me give you a clear scenario. There was this match, EPL match, that was between Sheffield United and then Manchester United, where the referee made 2 mistakes against Manchester United by ruling Manchester United go for a foul on a player and then for making Sheffield United goal stand while there was a foul on David De Gea. Now, what happened was that they said just wrote an apology letter to Manchester United, but the points for Sheffield United were never.
Oh, I think we lost Cosmos there, making a very important point. Cosmos, I apologize, but thank you very much for your call.
Yes, because what the Cosmos want to say that the referees can close their eyes to penalize you. But when they penalize you, finisher, there's no way they can withdraw the points from you again.
Yeah.
But what the guy is saying, let him correct him. They themselves, they are disturbing drafts. The supporters in Cape Coast. I'm begging them, they should stop that thing. If they want Cape Coast football to maintain in Cape Coast, they have to stop the draft supporters. They have to stop. Because according to the referee, the supporters are threatening him. And there's no security there. Fire service. Are we going to kill a fire? No. Are we going to kill the fire in the transport and the Cape Coast Stadium? And they are sister, let me talk.
But Langa, but when you call fire service, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's fire.
Sister,
it's because there's an emergency.
Forget about the marbles. Forget about the marbles. Forget about the marbles. Let me tell you something. The fire service work is fire service. They're supposed to be there when there's a fire break. Then they'll come and quench the fire. One, the football where we are playing is for the police or soldier. Police and soldier. Me, Langabe, when you bring fire service to come and control me, I will insult him.
No. That's not good.
No.
That's not a good thing to say.
No, what I'm saying, I'm going to say. I'm saying that. A point of order. I beg your pardon.
Okay, just like
I didn't say that. I will say it. Assume, like you are assuming people. Fire service, yes. Thank you. I'll give you an example. And ladies are playing football at, how do you call it? Police hospital. The fire service prison yard. They are playing matches. It's not a player go and beat one player. The fire service people are there. They can't do anything. Because they came to themselves, they come to watch the match. They don't come to secure people.
Okay, so I get what you mean. I have listened to you, I've heard you. But I also want to say something. Fire service is not just for fire.
But
they come for emergency purposes, which could be anything.
No. Are they fire break happening in the stadium where they are coming there?
Okay, guys, I think you have a lot of work to do here. But now that he's taking us to security, let's talk about whether or not he also has some security concerns. I'll start with Fifi. Work on Langabell for me, okay? I'm not getting nervous well.
In terms of security, I go to the stadium and there's no security, Mama. No. Because you have policemen who are supposed to be watching the crowds and they watch football.
That's it.
Arguing with supporters and referees' decision and all that. Lately, they have introduced stewards. And the stewards, they don't watch the human beings. They don't watch the supporters. They sit down there and watch the football.
If you like,
I have worked as a steward before. I got sacked for watching the ball for just a minute. These guys has to be trained and trained proper because security at the stadium is not good at all. It can be better.
Yeah.
It can be better, but it's not good. Policemen or men in uniform, when they go to the stadium, they know that they are there to work. They are not there to go and watch football. Eloy, Jerome, all of them, they know this.
I've got a few thoughts. I've got a few thoughts on that, Fifi, and I think you haven't come to Ignacio, so maybe you shouldn't make blanket statements.
Okay,
but sports are really world class. They know what they have to do. Little wonder you got fired in your job in London for watching the games. My guys don't watch the games. No, but on the more serious note, I think that there are issues here. There are issues here for all of us as stakeholders in the game to address. And I think that I've had occasion to have gripes with the security that is provided for my games, or we organize for our games at home. And we've had occasions, to be truthful, where sometimes the...
Eloy, are you driving?
No, I'm actually parked. Sometimes the police do not show up on time for the game, you understand? So these are some of the questions that we have around the game that I think needs addressing, Mama B. And I think stakeholders all have a big part to play. Langabell hit the nail right on the head about the situation that we saw in Dwarf. But that's the Dwarf one, and it because it escalated to that level. But there have been games I've been to this season away from home that we have gone to the brink. You know, sometimes of the referee saying that they will not continue the game. So there's a whole lot of issues around security, you know, in the game. But you know what? The football has been great, and I don't think we need to lose sight of that fact. The football has been great at times this season. My team has certainly been involved in some remarkably good games. I've seen some of the rest of the teams in the top 4 play great games. Even teams at the bottom of the league have put on some great performances. We went to Interlife. We lost by 2-0, and that was a remarkable performance by Allies. You know, and I'm the away team. I didn't have any complaints. We just got beaten by a very good Allied team. So there are positives in the league that we're playing. And I'm sure that we play our game on Saturday against Midiama. It's going to be a live game. I entreat everybody to watch. My team has been preparing really well all week for it. We don't have the leading scorer in the game because he's away in Japan at the moment. You know who I'm talking about, Joe Taylor. There's none better than him in the league at the moment. 16 goals. I think when he comes back,
Maxwell, I bet you know with us.
I think when he comes back, he's going to smash the record, and he's going to do 20. I am sure of that. It's a shame he was not available for the Midiama game, but we're still going to beat Midiama, and it will be a good game.
Any predictions?
Yeah, we're beating them 1-0.
Okay, all the best with it, Eloy, and I'll be supporting your club. I mean, I empathize with your club, to be fair.
Yeah, we don't need your empathy, we need your support.
Eloy Monday CEO for...
Gerald, great catching up. We'll talk later, guys. Cheers, bye.
Okay, so Jerome, I was just going to say that you travel wide. I mean, you watch games, really. Have you had concerns with security?
I think there is a general lack of security at almost all the league centers. And Fifi rightly hit the nail on its head. You don't have enough policemen or security men at the various venues. The few that also will come will be found watching the game. And not to accuse any of them, but this is what they do. We've seen them watch game, argue with fans, even express their view on officiating and all that. And that is a problem.
Okay.
Jerome.
Go ahead.
Jerome.
He's listening. Yeah.
Jerome, let me tell you something. You know the people where they watch match for Ghana here, Kumasi Sports Stadium, policemen.
and maybe one more thing. I think relative to security, I will make this appeal to the police administration. I've written about it a lot of times. It beats my imagination how referees can be attacked at matches.
Where there's no referee, there's no policemen.
And you will find no arrest. Look, I can give you copious instances, more than 15 instances of a referee attack in Ghana football over the last 10 years and no arrest. It is something I fail to understand. Maybe it is part of the problem I've just spoken about, a general lack of security, but it's something the FA and the police will have to take another look at.
Okay, so Ash Gold Kotoko, predictions?
We are winning 2-1.
All right. You know what, Kwame, let me just finish with Kwame. Toti, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so your predictions for the Hatoful Great Olympics game.
You shouldn't predict at all.
Okay, permit me to add my voice quickly to the refereeing incidents, and I'll quickly round up with my expectations and predictions.
All right.
I think that Hearts of Oak as a team has also had its own share of horrible officiating, and it's laughable for people to assume that we are only benefiting from it. We've had an outstanding cases in very poor officiating when we visited Ash Gold at Mediema to short change. So I don't think it's the people who are trumpeting all these things only have a ploy to distract us, and no way we are getting distracted. This title is on, and we are moving straight to the title.
Nobody do anything.
Langabel, let him land.
Nobody do anything.
Langabel, let him land.
Okay, let me land, then I'll give it to you.
Let him land. Kwame, just your prediction so that we can go.
Yes, then coming to the game, I think it's Olympics have really done well this season. If you follow them closely throughout the preseason, it wouldn't surprise you how they are performing. But I think this time around, we are edging them by a solitary goal. You know that you've not conceded in our last 5 games, and we are not going to do same. We are going to beat them by a Kojo of being solitary goal.
Oh, you mentioned the boy name.
Masters.
It's dry finish.
Langabel.
You mentioned somebody's name. You mentioned somebody's name. Well, we are going to put him on the water. Serious matter.
What are your predictions?
Thank you. Let me say something before I give the prediction. You see, the Accra Sports Stadium, the policemen when they are there, Honorable Inspector
IGP.
how do you call it? Sule, Inspector Sule, and CC. These policemen are fantastic in Accra Sports Stadium. The place I'm talking about, outside Accra Sports Stadium, outside Accra. You understand me?
That's when the policemen watch the games.
No, yes, and the fast service.
Okay, you.
Oh, my prediction. I think I'll give you my prediction already.
Okay, wait, hold on. Fifi, let me get your predictions before we wrap up.
We're going to get a comfortable win and a convincing victory for Accra Great Olympics on Sunday.
So if we're going to put money on it?
2-0 for Accra Great Olympics.
All right. All the best with it. I mean, we're rivals, but hey, we can do it nicely.
You are sitting here saying rivals. Sunday, if you want to chop, make fufu fast for your husband. Serious matter. And if your husband want to make a fundamental agona, let us make finish before the game started. Other than that, things will fall apart on you. From top to down. Serious matter.
What are your predictions?
Oh yes, because as I see you right now, your husband loves you. And when the thing happen like this, things will fall apart. No fundamental agona. Shekeleke Stanley will fall apart. But I'm begging you. Fifi said it that the thing is gonna we are going to over you. The day is over. Lord, please, I beg of you, chop and cook for your husband.
My husband is Kotoko, by the way.
Forget about the Kotoko. I'm talking about you. And you let him, you make your husband make fundamental agona before the things.
And that's our conversation, Langabel.
Let me say something for Teman Abu.
Are you reading from the paper?
No, I have a little take up of water. Benzine for Teman shipping Teman Abu. The trellis. This fishing trawler is doing illegal.
Okay, so
fishing, which is the cycle. They are the people who do cycle.
Okay, so what you have done is an allegation that we're going to follow up on.
That's what I'm telling you.
Thank you. So we're going to follow up. I'll get my producer.
Allegation. The thing is going on. It's allegation. It is all Ghana this point. The thing they go on is allegation.
Langabel.
Thank you. Let me greet you.
You have to play fair.
Oh,
and that's what it is.
Ghana is so like the thing you did there. No,
we have to wrap up.
Let me greet my one of my
quickly.
Mr. Bannerman, Minister of Fishes. I'm greeting you. You get me?
But you know Mr. Bannerman at Ministry of Fisheries, so why are you coming to tell me about the allegation? Why are you coming to tell me about the illegal something?
Yes.
You are also part of the problem.
I'm telling him to back up. Maybe he's sleeping.
Okay.
Where you don't know what is going on.
Okay.
No, I'm the one.
Okay.
Who knows it?
Okay.
So I will let people know that what is going on there like this.
Okay.
I'm telling him because it's my brother.
Okay.
When the fire comes, he goes, I don't get money again.
Okay.
No, let me help him to file the Soweto.
So we'll follow up on the this information. No, it's a piece of information that you've given us.
Yeah, you have to say
so
information.
We're going to follow up.
Say information.
We're going to
say it, information.
That's it, people. When we come back, I did mention to you earlier that we're talking about a company. This is a company that's offering a specialized service. So, you know, you have a company in Ghana, but you're thinking about having a branch. That's a conversation for you. But if you haven't even considered it, we'll give you a reason to consider it. And if you need support, we will also tell you how my next guest will be supporting you. So please stay with us. Okay, so here's a question. Have you thought of opening a branch of your company in the UK, maybe? You think it's too complicated, but in reality, it could be easy. So my next guest will be setting you up for this. Dr. Cosmas Anyakudo is Senior Legal Counsel, Head of West Africa Horizon Immigrations, and Raymond Papo is Country Rep, Horizon Immigrations. So we're talking commercial immigration. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
So first of all, let's talk about Horizon Immigration. Tell us a bit more about it.
Horizon Immigrations is a fully regulated and licensed law firm in the UK. And you cannot do legal immigration, you cannot advise on immigration in the UK without being a licensed firm. So we are a licensed firm, and that's what we do. We specialize in commercial immigration and business migration.
Okay. So here we're not talking about humans being taken to the UK, but we're talking about a business.
Yes.
Okay.
We are talking about businesses in other parts of the world. Now we're in Ghana, promoting Ghanaian businesses to open branches of their businesses in the UK.
Great. Before I get into the how and the why,
but before you proceed, it's not only businesses. Ultimately, human beings would have to do the real thing. Absolutely. So it's both businesses and human beings.
Okay.
Because they are going to be actors on behalf of the businesses that would eventually have to open in the UK.
Okay, great. So explain to me why we should be looking at the UK markets.
The UK is the 5th largest economy in the world. And the UK has got historical ties in the Commonwealth with many countries around the world, including Ghana, where they have they share social, political, and economic ties over the many years. So in expanding the economy of UK that has gone through a very tough patch due to coronavirus and the COVID situation and the exiting the EU, they lost a lot of market. Where are they trying to regain this? Their old friends, which are in the Commonwealth. That's why we're here in Ghana.
All right. Why should Ghanaians be interested? You're Ghanaian.
Absolutely important. And this is an opportunity for most Ghanaian businesses. Indeed, there are a few things they will have to meet and they will qualify to be there. The benefits are enormous. Ghanaians have always been looking for opportunity to be able to operate in other environments, especially in the Europes, because they know they can establish partnerships, they'll be able to liaise with other people. Then what we have here, we can send there and possibly be able to make some good money, some good dollars and what have you. In the UK, it will be good pounds. And UK is also looking at us and asking that, okay, then let's have this symbiotic relationship and say how we together benefit from it. So this is coming with a very flexible terms. Indeed, if you want to really do a business in the UK, you can tell all that you had to go through. But this is the UK government saying, Ghanaians are interested in your business. Want us to have a partnership. Come over and let's see how we could take this beyond what it is currently. So it is critical for businesses in Ghana.
For somebody who is watching us, this may sound so easy. Like, you know, you're saying it like it's easy to migrate a business to the UK. Is it that easy?
Of course, there are criteria that businesses we have to meet. For example, we would like the businesses that come to the UK to be ongoing concerns, reputable companies here. They could be private companies, they could be public liability companies. And for them to meet the requirement of the UK immigration rules, for example, all they have to have is a turnover of over 50,000, 60,000 pounds equivalent here. I understand that's about 400,000, 500,000 cedis a year. So if they have that turnover, that kind of business is seen in the UK to be a good ongoing concern. And the United Kingdom will be very much interested in them having a branch of their office in the UK. You asked the benefits that companies will gain to do this. A company that is set up in the UK would be able to access, for example, the financial markets in the UK, where we have very low interest rates. In Ghana, the lending rates are over 25%. In the UK, they are less than 5%. So if you have a subsidiary in the UK, whether it's wholly owned or not, you would benefit a lot from that kind of financial access to the financial market there. You can expand your business. You can enter new collaborations, new networks. You can expand the horizon of the business you do. You'll be able to earn in foreign currency and preserve your assets. So many benefits for Ghanaian companies to do this in the UK.
Okay, so the turnover that he talks about, can you explain it to us? I mean, must I have like 400,000 Ghana cedis or a business worth that much?
Not necessarily. We're talking activity that the business in Ghana can show proof that is able to do activity that would come up to that amount. It could be a fresh business, but there's evidence to show that this business can turn over that amount. And for 500,000 Ghana cedis in a year, in Ghana, it's not too strange. In fact, lots of business in Ghana here would qualify because lots of business are good and they have turnovers way above that. So once you can show proof, and we know how we show proof, our bank statements would have, so to speak, contracts that would show that when we deliver on this, we can make that much. And even businesses that have just started, but you have some proof to show. I'm sure they will give you evidence that this, when I deliver this and that, I'm going to make that one. They all qualify.
You know, I can imagine, you know, like a typical local business, there are some things that we do here that you yourself, you know, that if it were to get somewhere else, you would get a lot of clients because they are unique and we're good at it, except that we don't know how we can get it there. So this is certainly good. But what kind of support exactly are you giving to that business that is watching us right now that says, I want to get involved in this. I want to open an office in the UK?
The support we give a total round, we're a one-stop shop in the sense that although our main business is to give you legal advice to be able to qualify for the immigration rules, one of the requirements of this application is that you produce a business plan that is acceptable to the Home Office in the UK, which is the department that is charged with granting applications like this. But then you would need also to provide to your bank a credible business plan. So the business plan that we provide you for the purposes of the immigration rules would also help you to qualify for your business assessments when it comes to making any application to your financial institution for things like credit. And then this opportunity, as my colleague said, this opportunity is mainly for companies, but companies have to be run by persons, and this is where it gets very interesting for you viewers. When you come to the UK, as the representative of this Ghanaian business, your family will be entitled to free education for all your children under 18 years. When they're going to university, if they qualify, they will be given grants in the UK because education is considered a a right, not a privilege. There is going to be opportunity for you to access the world-class healthcare service in the UK, free of charge at the point of need forever. If you are the representative of your company, your spouse, husband or wife or partner will be entitled to a work permit for total work permit to do whatever they want in the UK. And ultimately, your entire family will be granted British residency and British citizenship after 5 years. So this is very interesting.
So I work with a multimedia group,
Great.
Which is a media company.
Sure.
So say we want to open an office in the UK, and I am taken there as a rep.
Yes.
I get to benefit from all the things you just outlined.
Absolutely.
You would benefit. I wish JoyNews TV would send a representative to the UK. In fact, the UK, they're always tweaking the rules. If you're an ongoing business concern, you can send only one representative. But I understand they've just changed the rules that Joy can send a cameraman, a producer, and you to go to UK to start your own. So any outlet in Ghana that wants to do that, please talk to us and we'll help you set up your broadcasting station in UK with at least 2 or 3 of your staff getting all this benefit I talked to that leads ultimately to a British passport.
Okay, so how do we get started? Somebody's watching right now.
Yes.
Where do they start? Where do they begin from?
Before you even proceed, it's important to to note that we're talking about a virtual office. So for a business that turns over just that amount, we'll be asking that, hey, how do I raise that huge or colossal amount to be able to...
Am I going to rent a shop?
Absolutely. No, it is a virtual office, but however, you'll be registered in the UK. So you would be the business, and you're expected to do all you have to do to be able to penetrate the system, get the linkages you have to get to be able to do business. So it won't cost you that much to get on the market in the UK. So it's virtual. You don't have to have a physical.
Even better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It makes it even cheaper.
Okay, so let's get to where should somebody begin the conversation from? How do we start?
There are going to be numbers that should be available to you viewers, and you are welcome to see me. I'm in the country for a few days, and you're welcome to see me at Mensvik Grand Hotel. And Mensvik Grand Hotel is on Lagos Road, East Legon. So I will be conducting interviews at Mensvik Grand Hotel, Lagos Road, East Legon. And I'll be doing this today, Monday, and Tuesday. And we are looking for an office here, so it will be very good for viewers to know that very soon we're going to set up our office next month. But now, they're welcome to Mensvik Hotel to see me and get a free consultation on the eligibility for this scheme. Okay,
it looks like you have to retrieve the number for me, if you don't mind, so that we can mention the number that people can reach you on.
Okay. So, 020 362 62 again 75.
Okay.
So if I should repeat, 0203 62 62 75.
Okay.
I will have to get his number. It's a fresh number. So.
Yes, but you can call me from the UK number by WhatsApp. Contact me by WhatsApp.
Okay.
+44 is the number. 77 47 536 713. I repeat, 44 for the UK code, 77 47 536 713. And you can contact me by WhatsApp, and I'll be happy to see you this afternoon.
Okay, all right. So you can WhatsApp or call him direct. You can equally. So he's here for a while. You can do this consultation for a while, but then you will be left with us.
Absolutely.
So where can people usually find you?
I would be in Mensvik for now.
Okay.
Once we meet from now, once you reach me, we'll always meet.
Okay. So what's the time? You're available from what time to what time in the day?
From 9 o'clock in the morning, but I understand people go to work and you might find it convenient to come in the evening. So we are still around till 7 in the evening to see you.
Okay.
Between 9 in the morning and 7 p.m. in the evening.
Okay. All right. Any last thoughts you want to share?
Yeah, most likely we'll be here again on Monday. So if viewers are expected to come through with questions or things they have on your mind, they can even, I think they can file them earlier to you so we can speak to them while we come here.
Yes.
Okay.
But once they get through to us, we're definitely going to have a very hearty conversation. I'm sure they'll be excited. It looks too good to believe, but it is real. And we must also mention that this has come about because of COVID and Brexit. It's critical. It's important to mention that. So it means that the UK government, when it's over and done with this, can say that, well, it's enough. We're no more interested. So anyone who is interested, this is the time.
Okay. The window is not now open.
Now.
We don't know how long it will be kept
Correct.
open.
Absolutely. Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, so anything else you want to add?
Well, nothing except to say, if you're a Ghanaian business, don't stay back. Get in touch with us and let us pre-qualify you. It's a free consultation. It's worth about £250 in the UK to speak with a lawyer. And I've been qualified for 28 years. I re-qualified in the UK as a solicitor. I practiced for many years. And this is my turf. I've got a PhD in this area. So come and get free consultations. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you very much for sharing this good news with us, with our viewers as well. Just before we wrap up, let's have the numbers again, just in case somebody missed. Okay, so your number is on the screen, which is good, the +44 number. So pick the numbers on the screen. You can even take a screenshot of it and then call or WhatsApp my guests so that they can give you more information on what we're talking about. For how long does it take, to...
Fantastic question. If you're qualified and you're a Ghanaian business and you want to go to the UK, all your children could be in school by September in the UK. But if you're not immediately qualified and we have to advise you on how to meet eligibility criteria, it might take no longer than 180 days.
Okay.
That is 6 months.
That's still pretty cool.
But in 45 days, it can all be sorted out for companies that are ready to go.
All right. Okay. So put a call through and learn a lot more. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time.
Great.
Hopefully we get to meet again.
Look forward Monday.
All right. Great. So that's our conversation on commercial immigration. It's a fantastic opportunity.